he's facing a real tough shot right now.
ACCUSTATS Video Productions proudly presents MPBA World Class 9-Ball. I'm Bill Incardona, and along with me, the #1 player in the world today, Nick Varner, is our special guest for this feature and a semifinal match in the men's division. Nick, we just seen Kim Davenport defeat Jeff Carter. Jeff Carter will finish 4th in the tournament, and it looks like Kim's at the top of his game right now. He's currently ranked #2 in the world, and his opponent is Buddy Hall. How do you see this match coming down? I mean, who do you favor in the match, and why would you favor one person over another?
Well, this is such a tough match. Like you say, Kim is the #2 ranked player, and he's been playing consistently well all year long. Buddy come alive in the Moline tournament a couple months ago and won the first tournament he'd won for a while, and Buddy's really been playing solid. He kind of lost a heartbreaker last night playing Mike Sago. He was leading 10-5, and he lost that match, and that was really a heartbreaking match to lose. I think in the match today, I think that one of the keys for Buddy, I think, is after losing that heartbreaker, is getting off to a good start. And I think there Kim has an edge. He's played 2 or 3 matches today. He's loosed. He's used to the crowd. He's had to make some tough choices already. And Buddy's starting brand new. So I think in the beginning is going to be a real good key for Buddy to get off to a good start. Because Kim, if he gets that momentum going, Buddy might never see daylight.
That's for sure. Kim's such an explosive player. You know, if his break's working, you know that he's playing well. He just defeated Jeff Carter. If his break's working on table number 7, I think Buddy's going to have his hands full, or maybe a little more than he wants. But of course, Buddy Hall, as of lately, you know, has been playing extremely well. And that particular match last night with Mike Sago, he had Mike down 10-5 in that match, and it's such an infrequent thing that would happen for him to lose a match leading 10-5. I'm kind of curious to find out if that loss, that spooky loss I might add, is going to affect his early performance here.
Yeah, that will be real interesting to see. I know that he's going to be bearing down real hard and stuff, and he's won the leg. That's always a real good sign.
He won the leg easily. He rested the cue ball against the rail, it looked like, from our angle.
So that's always a positive thing. I think this first break, if he can maybe get a shot after this break, I think he'll probably be rolling pretty smooth after that, because he has been playing awful solid this tournament. I really like the way he's playing. He's been playing as close to mistake-free as you possibly can play. He's made a ball. He's got a good shot on the 1, and looks like the key here is going to be what he ends up doing with this 2-ball. The 2-ball is standing there by the 8-ball, where Buddy's standing there by the table, the 2 and 8, with the 2 being on top. And he's either going to have to come across, play the 2-8 combination, or and that's probably what he will do, although he may swing around 2 or 3 rails and maybe try to play it in the corner, break it out, or just get the right angle. But what do you think he's going to do? This is a real crucial opening shot. This is one not to take lightly here, Bill.
Well, I think he's deciding right now what he wants to do. Those 2 shots that you brought up are probably the only 2 consideration he has. I looked at him looking at the bottom side of the 2-ball, suggesting that he might do the latter, swinging 2 rails around and possibly running into the 2, or even ending up with a combination on the head. Now
he's trying to come underneath and play the 2 in the corner, and what a cold roll that is.
Okay, now this is something that he didn't want to happen early in the match. Now he struck the 1 ball perfectly as far as pocketing the ball.
And
now,
if he's a 1/4 of an inch away from the 9, he's absolutely perfect.
Right.
What a cold roll that is, and how he deals with this, I think it's going to be very important, because playing a guy like Kim, if he loses his intensity for just a little while, he'll get taken out of this match. This Kim is a dangerous player.
And let me touch on this one more time, Nick. Yesterday when he played Mike Siegel, you know, a lot of spooky things seemed to happen. I guess while he was in that chair, he had a premonition that something bad was about to happen to him just after Mike started his comeback. And a lot of spooky things started to happen to him at that time. And now we start out with the first game here, and he struck the one ball perfectly, coming around and freezing on the 9. No, that doesn't figure to happen. That's certainly what isn't what I consider an unforced error.
No, I consider that a little bit unlucky myself. But now Kim's got him all over the table. The only thing he has to be a little careful about is going from this 3 to the 5 ball. And the reason for that is the 6 blocks a couple of important pockets, this corner over here and the side. So he's limited a little bit here. And he has a lot of choices here, and it looks like he's elected to, I don't know about that choice. I guess it's okay, but I think I might have played that one a little different. But we'll see how it turns out. Once again, it's all a matter of personal preference on how you play that type of a shot. But he's ended up a little long on this 5, and he's got to whack it a little bit. Well, no, long shots aren't really strangers to Kim Davenport. Okay, he moved on, and I believe the cue ball's going to get away from here, Nick. If it doesn't, there's something else. Yes, it did. So now Buddy must feel awfully good now. Well, I tell you what, Buddy's got to feel awful good because that could cost him 3 or 4 racks, and at a time when I'm sure that he's having a real deep inner conflict with himself after the freezing up against that 9. He's thinking, oh my goodness, not some more of this. Will it ever end? He got last night. Will it ever end? And all of a sudden it has come to an end. So therefore, possibly this is the confidence that he needs. That, hey, listen, maybe the luck might be on my side today. Yeah, well, here he just got to keep his eye on the balls. I mean, there's really. For Buddy, there won't be much problem here. The only thing he can do here is miss. Well, I'm glad you brought up that point. It appears that it's very routine. You know, it's like a gimme out, 6, 8 in front of the hole, and 9. And you mentioned it's important that he keeps his eye on the balls, and it's routine. And that's what you must do. Regardless of how simple our layout may appear, you have to keep your eyes on the ball and concentrate. And once you lose that concentration, anything can happen. Well, it looks like game 1, Billy's going to go to Buddy. A little bit uncharacteristic miss there by Kim Davenport on that 5 ball. I thought he might get a little out of line on the 6, but I didn't expect him to miss the 5. Well, it all stems from where he played position on the 3. You remarked that you wouldn't have wanted that type of an angle on the 3 to go to the 5. He elected to choose that angle. He was comfortable with it, but resulting in a long shot on the 5. He didn't make the ball, obviously. Now Buddy has a 1-0 lead in the match. Now Kim's going to have a problem dealing with it, possibly. Well, he's in the same boat that Buddy is. The same thing that's going on in Buddy's mind is going on in his right now. Missed opportunity. Well, yes, it was a missed opportunity. And Buddy's really hit the brake hard. The 9's heading toward the corner, but it's not going to quite make it, and he's come up dry on break number 2. Okay, if you notice that the first time he broke the balls, nothing went in, but at the last second, a ball trickled in the side, and he did hit the 1 ball square on that break also. He's hit the 1 ball squarely one more time, and this time coming up empty. It seems like this table is breaking fairly difficult right now, at least from the 2 breaks that I've watched. Yeah, I think he might have to adjust his speed, and I believe he's going to have to go just a hair harder because they're moving out of there a little bit. I don't believe I'd go easier. Could be wrong, though, but I believe the next time I broke, I'd try to add just a little bit to it because he doesn't seem to be struggling much with squareness of hit. No, he seems to be usually if I'm struggling with squareness of hit, then I will slow down my speed and try that method first. But if I'm hitting them square, I usually step it up if I don't make a ball. Well, that also is noteworthy. If you're having problems hitting the 1 ball squarely, a good thing to do is cut down on the speed of the break so you get more accuracy on the break. Okay, now Buddy's facing a long shot on the 1. This is a little bit like shooting at the 9 here because the balls are pretty well spread out. It's almost like he's shooting a winning ball right now for this game. And one thing I like about Buddy, I noticed when he was playing, I watched a couple shots last night when he was playing Sago. He's playing on the table next to me. And one thing, it seems like Buddy's really hitting the pocket nice. I mean, those balls are going in clean. I really like that because from my experience, when you're playing your best, you don't wobble too many balls in. That's for sure.
And another thing I've noticed about Buddy's game is that how solid he stays over the ball. He doesn't seem to be jumping at all. And, you know, he went through a drought for almost 2 years on the PBA Tour without winning a major event. And then he won the Willard McDermott Open in Moline, Illinois, and he played extremely well winning that tournament. But he's been staying down over the ball real solid. And when this man's solid at the table, he's just a perfect pitcher player.
Yeah, I tell you, I've been watching Buddy play for 20 years, and I'll probably be watching him play for the next 20 because he's truly a player that is enjoyable for me to watch. I really enjoy. I love the way he plays the game of 9-ball, and it's a beautiful thing to watch him play 9-ball. Okay, he almost got himself in a little trouble there. He almost got jacked up over the 7, but he's free of it, so he was in a little tight spot. A lot of people don't realize there wasn't much room between that 8 and that 7, pathwise coming up table, and that's one reason why he ended up going against it a little bit.
Well, it looks like all he has to do now, Nick, is pocket the 6-ball and just follow the ball off the rail or force it, wherever he chooses. Follow the 7 down to the 8, and the 9 is located in front of the other corner pocket on the furthest end.
Well, I think Buddy's got to feel awful good now. It looks like he's going to take the lead 2-0. And now I'm sure the only thing he's thinking about is what should I do on that break? I think when he gets done running this rack, he's going to be making his decision on what to do on this next break shot, and I'm going to bet he does something different.
That's exactly right. After he gets done running this rack, that's when his thoughts will be concentrated on the break, not now. He's taking care of
watch how he plays
business at hand.
position on a simple shot like this 8-ball, even though it really doesn't matter where you get on the 9. Now, see, he came 2 rails, and a lot of players come up 1 rail, and I really prefer the way Buddy did it. Even though you can make the 9 from any place on the table, it just seems like you're so much more accurate both pocketing the ball and controlling the cue ball that way, Billy. That 2-rail position instead of 1 rail.
Well, that's another thing that's noteworthy. It just gives you a feeling of security. You can pocket the ball so much easier that way. And another thing is psychologically, you hear the pocket, you know, that whop into the pocket. It gives you that like adrenaline flow. So it's
well, the advantage of that 2nd rail is the fact that when you're coming off that rail, Bill, is you usually don't end up on it.
Well, that certainly is a fact to be reckoned with.
Okay, now it looks like he's sticking with about the same spot, but I believe he's going, let's see what he does speed-wise, see if he comes with the same speed or varies it a little bit.
Or increases, like you suggest, because he is hitting the 1-ball very solid.
Looks like he's really bearing down on it.
Look at the cue ball.
Look at the cue ball. A little bit more into it. He really went after that one. I like the way he hit those. I really like the way he hit that break shot. I mean, he really was aiming, and he hit it absolutely perfectly square. In fact, he's a little bit unlucky here that he don't have a shot on the 1.
The cue ball stopped right in the center of the table, suggesting how square he did hit the balls.
Okay, now Buddy's pushed out, and what are you? Of course, it's hard to make up your mind before Kim shoots. He's usually a fairly quick player. What choices you see here on this push?
Well, with Buddy's dexterity and his touch, I don't know. He might just try to hook him behind the 8, or
looks like Kim is.
He's going to shoot the shot. It looks like.
Cut it in.
And that's what I feel. That's the way he's stroking it. He's a very aggressive player. Oh, he made a wonderful shot.
I tell you what,
he made a wonderful shot.
He really
made a wonderful shot.
Made a fabulous shot there. That was extremely difficult there. That was just a great shot.
And if he noticed the cue ball, if he would have missed that, Buddy wouldn't have had a shot.
That's why Kim is so dangerous. He has such firepower with that shot making that he's the type of guy even if he's shooting at a tough shot, you really just don't enjoy, if you're playing him, watching him shoot at it, because he really pockets balls and can come with real tough power shots like he just did on that 1 ball. Now here, he's got to think a little bit on this 3, 4, and 5. It looks like he's looking at maybe drawing underneath the 4 and then falling forward to go up for the 5, and I kind of like that, really.
Yeah, I kind of like that myself. He's going to get closer to the ball. And
his other choice was coming up table, but see, this way you almost always are going to get a shot, Billy.
Right.
You may not quite get the right angle. You might get straight in something or froze on the rail, something you don't quite like. But the other way, you can end up where you have to play safe or bank or even scratching the side over there. And I really like the way he played that shot.
Plus, you're going toward the ball too. If you're on this side of the 4, you know, after you hit pocket the 4, the cue ball should be going toward the 5. It's a lot easier to play position that way. Now this is the shot here that's going to decide the fate of this game.
This is no easy shot on this 5. I thought he might have won further up table from that angle. I thought he might have went underneath the 8 or something. But
possibly the 9 ball is an obstacle here.
But I tell you what, yeah, pathwise here, he's fighting hitting something or going against a rail or the side pocket over here. That 8, he might be able to go between the 8 and the side, but that's not a big target over there.
No, it isn't. And if a 9 wasn't there, he could just come straight down the table. But that's not.
That's what he's doing, and he didn't have any trouble catching the rail. But he's just a little bit long on the 6.
Well, your choice by following down table, playing the other side of the 5 ball, you would have been a lot closer to the 6.
Yeah, and this foot is this is a big foot here. If he's a foot closer to the 6, this is the percentage of difficulty really decreases when you get a foot closer to a shot like that. Now he's made it just a fabulous shot. That was hit the center of the hole. And
well, we have a contrast in styles here, Nick. What we're seeing is the cue ball perfectionist of Buddy Hall opposed to the firepower of Kim Davenport. Kim Davenport might be one of the best, or probably the best offensive player in the game today. And as far as pure offense, I'm saying. And Buddy Hall, you know, he's Mr. Cue Ball.
Yeah, Kim's a very exciting player to watch because he does play very, very offensive. And but I've noticed his game has really changed a lot in the last year or two, Billy. It used to be, I don't even think he knew that you could play safe in 9-ball a few years back. But I noticed that and when he hooks you, usually it's not too much fun either.
No, it isn't. You know, playing on the tour as long as Kim has, you know, you have to pick up something from all the great players out here. And Kim really didn't need to pick up that much to be a champion that he is today, because he has such great natural ability. Looks like he's pocketed the ball on the break here. The ball seemed to be a little congested around that foot spot. The 4 and 6 are the 2 balls located on the foot spot. The 4, the ball, that's the ball on the foot spot. It appears maybe that the 4 and 6 are possibly straight in the corner pocket, like a combination.
Well, he's certainly close enough to this 3, but looks like he's going to do what you talked about, Bill. Looks like he's playing for the 4-6 combination. Looks like he's thinking about coming
around the 7-9, possibly 2 rails. He might go into one of these balls here, though.
Better step it up a little.
He's just gotten there. If it's straight in, it looks like he'll have a fairly easy time.
It's pretty straight. So.
Yes, it was.
Oh, he made a nice shot there. And another thing, he has to be a little careful. He may have to play position underneath the 7 because the 9's blocking the path a little bit. You think he'll go upstairs here?
Well, there again, it's just a matter of preference. You know, you could get straight in on the 5 and just follow it, or straight on over and play the 7 where the 8 is, or you can elect to just take an angle on the 5.
Looks like he's got a perfect angle on the 4, so he has a lot of options there that he can choose.
And now his position suggests that he could do either from this point. He could either draw the ball up, or he could just roll the ball forward. He could do anything from this angle.
I don't know what he's looking at. I believe he's going to go into it or something. I don't think he's staying underneath the way he's aiming.
It's like he's trying to force it around it. I don't like this shot if he is.
He's going between them. And
I didn't particularly care for that type of a shot.
No, I usually don't try. I don't like to hit nothing unless necessary. But he didn't like, evidently, he didn't like the idea of playing that ball all the way up table. And that certainly has some merit to it. I do understand what he's thinking about there. hitting them balls sometime, them funny angles is where you come up with them funny angles where you don't have a very good shot. Well, it looks like Kim's going to tie it up 2-2 in no time at all. So that was a pretty thin shot on the 9 ball.
Yeah, it didn't appear that he had that difficult of a shot, but obviously he did.
He kind of bent down at the knees there.
Yeah, he sure did. And at the end of game 4, Nick, it is knotted up 2 games apiece. And both players seem to be playing very well. I think we're going to see a very tight, exciting match.
Yeah, I think basically here what's going to happen is whoever finds this break the fastest is going to win this match. They both are pocketing balls real good, and they both look like they're both ready to win.
Here goes the 7. Looks like the 7th ball is going to go into the hole with the 8 up the other end of the table. He's pocketed 2 balls on the break this time. He's broken the balls twice now, pocketing at least 1 ball in each of the 2 breaks.
I look for Kim. Yeah, he's going to try to bank the 1. The only danger here is something funny could happen around the 3. I look for him to make this 1 cross corner and swing around 3 rails and just hope he gets a shot on the 3. I imagine that's all that's going through his mind here is making the 1 and then hope something good happens when he comes toward that 3 ball.
That's right. He might go into the 3 too. It's a possibility of that.
All right.
So
yeah, he could end up. These don't always work out perfect.
Now here we go.
Here we go. We got action.
Into the 3. He went into the 3 and he came out fairly good.
Yeah, he may have to either take a long shot though on the 3, Billy, or he may have to jack up and go to the end rail and come back up.
Yeah, I feel he's going to jack up because he feels quite comfortable in that position.
Yeah, I think he usually prefers it. Of course, the only reason he'll jack up is because he has to keep the cue ball on the same side of the table as a 3. He'd much rather hit it like he was originally lined up there with a nice level stroke, but that's going to take him too far toward this opposite rail.
Now he's looking to roll it.
No, he soft rolled it. Yeah. He elected to soft roll it there.
He didn't like the jack up angle that he had.
But I tell you what, see, this is where the 6 ball really comes into play now. He's got a long shot that's a little tough to make. And that 6 is a big ball because now he's got to hit this 3 with a lot more power to clear it.
But with his accuracy, Nick, this is just an easy shot for him. He is such a pure shot maker.
Now, this combination's good. This is where, when you're playing possession for combinations, you always want to get where you can hit the front ball, the 5 ball, in the middle if you can, like a straight-in shot. The key to playing position on combinations, I think, is where you're shooting the cue ball directly where you can stop the cue ball and it stays where it's at on a combination or moves very little.
It seems like, though, he's got an awkward angle on the 4 and to even compound it, he looks like he has to stretch on the shot. So this isn't really that easy.
No, he's that 6 ball is right in his path that he's trying to come back. So trying to miss, that's the difficulty here. And see, a lot of people, they see a player miss that. I don't know how many times people have told me, say, how you missed that shot? Well, it took so much force and so much control to weave around that 6. He was trying to force it over here to play the 5 straight in, and that's when the difficulty of the shot goes from a hanger. If all he had to do was make the 4, you'll never see him miss no gain ball.
That's
if that
right.
was the 9 ball, but the thing is, he had to hit it with so much extreme force to get it back that that really increases the difficulty. And
now this shot is very deceiving, Nick. The 4 ball is not hanging in the pocket, and if the 4 ball is not hanging in the pocket, that means he has to hit the 4 ball fairly good. Therefore, he can't hit the outside edge of the 4 and get back down table. Notice the cue ball.
Yeah.
You see? If the 4 was in the pocket, he wouldn't have had any problem coming back down table. But since the 4 was out of the pocket, he had a little problem with the cue ball.
Well, he just couldn't get to the rail quick enough, so you had to hit the 4 full, see, and that just kills the cue ball when it hits the rail. Now he's faced with a really tough shot. I'm sure he's probably going to play the billiard here.
No, he has to be careful not to scratch in this shot, Nick.
Well, I don't think he'll scratch. I mean, it's possible, but I think if he...
You're right again, Nick. At the end of game 5, Ben Hall takes the lead in this match, 3 games to 2.
Well, Buddy, you know what's encouraging, trying to pick out something positive from Buddy's standpoint so far in this match. He's taken a game lead, and he's answered his real strong test there on that 5-9. I mean, that it's not automatic that goes in. He missed one about 10 times that easy to lose the last match.
He sure did. And I kind of think that he played position for that particular shot. I mean, he knew where the cue ball was going to go, and so therefore he got as close to the billiard as he possibly could, and he accepted it. Okay, Buddy's pocketed a ball on the break.
Well, he let the cue ball, he got it just a hair too high, and he drifted forward, and now he's got to push out again. But he is hitting him with force. That cue ball must have went at least a foot in the air, and possibly a little bit more than he wanted it to go up, and it went forward. If he's in the center of the table this time, he would really like it.
He certainly would.
But he's going to push out over toward this corner and leave Kim. Naturally, he's not going to leave Kim a very easy shot.
This is an extremely difficult shot. I don't know if Kim's going to take the shot or not. And being the great shot maker that he is, I guess.
You don't have to usually worry about. I don't want to shoot too many shots when Kim passes myself. And he just absolutely caught it in the heart of the
Unfortunately,
hole. What a great shot that was.
It was an injustice.
Phenomenal.
It was an injustice that he got the bad roll that he did going into the 6 and then leaning against the rail. You know, he could have went into the 6 and went in a lot of places on the table, which would have given him a much easier shot than this. But he hit it just a little off. And on this particular equipment, you know that you have to hit the pocket with that type of an angle, or else the pocket's not going to take the ball.
Yeah, when you shoot it with that speed, he hit that at a fairly crisp pace because he wanted to get off that end rail for the 4. And but he's played a little bit fortunate here.
He certainly has.
I don't think the 3 goes across the corner, so Buddy's going to have to maybe try to come over toward this 4 and 7 and chip it between the 5 and 8 is what I look for Buddy to do anyway.
You know, I don't really like the way the 3 and the cue ball are lying. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he would try to put the cue ball behind the 5 here. But, of course, that's asking quite a lot. But I don't think he's got a
Buddy has the touch to do what you're saying. I like the other way a little better because speed's so less important. The way Buddy goes, he got a little thick.
Well, it worked out okay because I didn't think he could do that with such ease. But you recognized it immediately, so therefore you recognized it. He tried to do it. It had to be right.
Right here's the bigger choice right here. What you do here, Kim's evidently going to try to stick him behind the 8.
That's a very difficult shot.
This is a tough shot, but he might make the 9. I know why he's going that way. So he's got a shot at the 9 that way, Billy, clipping the 9 in the side.
Very difficult shot, though.
And by leaving the cue ball on the rail with all these balls, it'd almost be like a miracle in case he leaves Buddy a shot. I really like that choice there.
Yeah.
That was a great choice, recognizing all those positive things there that Kim made. It shows how clear he's thinking in this match.
Well, Buddy's playing extremely well. He's staying over the ball very solidly. He really feels comfortable out there. He felt comfortable the entire time when he was playing Mike Sigel, I noticed. And, you know, Mike Sigel is his limit. What I'm trying to say, Mike Sigel is the kind of a guy that is a opportunist like yourself, and he has beaten Buddy about 70 or 80% of the time. And Buddy played extremely well against him, considering all those facts.
Well, down through the years, I tell you what, the Final Four in this tournament is about the best ticket and pool you can possibly get. That was a beautiful thing when you see Earl Strickland playing Buddy Hall and Mike Sigel playing Kim Davenport. There's hardly any tickets that are much better than that one.
With the exception of yourself, that is.
Well, Buddy's laying down that pinpoint position. He just bounces off and gets an angle to go either 1 or 2 rails up a table coming across, and speed's good on the 7 where he'll bounce off the 2nd rail. A lot of people here on this shot, they end up on the rail, and if the 9's any place except hung up in the side, it does make a difference.
It certainly does.
Because when you're off the rail, you just have so many options available. Tell you what, buddy, caught that ball a little full. I think that, you know, I've had a little problem with that myself during this tournament when I'm using that English, like he's using left English there, that sometime it seems like that ball really slides right into it and hits it a little fuller than you plan on.
Is that the cloth that causes that?
Well, I think, well, it has it's a big factor in how much to allow for, you know, in that English, you know, the different kinds of cloth. It's a question of just getting adjusted to it. But he caught that 7. I know his heart went pitter-patter on that 7 ball.
It certainly did. And at the end of game number 6, Buddy Hogstad is lead in the match 4 games to 2. Now, the last time Buddy broke the balls, Nick, the cue ball went forward. The time prior to that, he parked it right in the center of the table. If he would have parked it in the center of the table his last break, he would have had an easy out, but he didn't. The cue ball went forward. I'm sure we'll see the cue ball back up a little bit this time.
Yeah, Buddy's thinking about where he ended up last time, and I do like the way he's hitting this break, though. He, the last couple of times, he's coming with that power, and
all right,
he kissed the one in the side, and but he's having about the same luck I've been having during most of this tournament. I'm making a ball on the break, but it seems like the next ball is never where I got a shot at it.
Well, if you can't string racks playing in events like this here, world-class events, then you're not going to win them. And you can play as good as the game can be played, but if you don't get the opportunities, then you just can't win.
See, Buddy's he's playing flawless pool and stuff, and he's broken, he's making balls, and it's kind of frustrating after a while. You break 3 or 4 times, and you know you're playing a guy that can hit you with 3 or 4. Kim can hit him with 3 or 4, and after working so hard to win these games, you know, it wears you down, I think, a little bit.
Well, that's exactly what happened to him yesterday when he played Mike Siegel. You know, he lost that match 11-10. He was ahead 10-5, but how he got ahead 10-5, he played absolutely errorless pool the entire set, and he wasn't making any balls on the break.
Yeah, he told me this morning. He said he wasn't making any balls on the break, and I know from my experience, when I go to sleep at night and I'm maybe thinking a little bit about what's going to happen the next day of the tournament or something, especially when it gets close to the finals, where, you know, most of these guys all break the balls awfully well, that they're subject to take you out of a match at any time, regardless of how you play. So you know that your break really has to get with the program.
Oh, well, that was very an offense. It was a very brave shot he chose there. And I don't know what he had in mind. Maybe he had in mind exactly what almost happened, pocketing the 9 and possibly kicking in the 2 on the side.
Here he's probably going to play the 3 and try to come toward this group of chalk that's clustered on this end rail and go back up for the 4 ball.
Yes, he did that, but it looked like it, or at least it appeared that he tried to go into the 9 on the shot, and
he worked out real good
sure
because he ended on the right side of the 4 to end up with an easy shot for the 9.
As you can see, he's a very offensive-minded person, and at the end of game number 7, Kim Davenport trails in the match at 4 games to 3. So Buddy's struggling a little bit at making balls on the break and getting a shot.
He's making balls on the break good. He's just struggling getting a shot after the break, and that's one thing about a 9 ball that's amazing. One day you can break just phenomenal in this game, and you're always straight in on the next 1 ball or the next ball after the break. And the next days, it seems like the next ball after the break is nowhere to be found.
That's true.
Okay, Kim's coming off the side rail, and he really hit those nice and square. That he does have such an uncanny ability to just really hit where he's aiming.
Is that the first time that Kim's broken off the rail? I mean, I haven't noticed it.
I haven't been paying attention where he's been breaking from so far.
He's made a ball on both of his breaks prior to that. I would be surprised to see him move. That's why I asked
Maybe
that question.
He was on the break. This looked like he was going about it a little different or something. Seemed like he was aiming higher on the white ball than he has been.
Now, Buddy is a great bank pool player, Nick, and he selected to shoot the bank and pocketing it very cleanly.
Yeah, that's one that some players might give some consideration toward playing safe on, and there's nothing wrong with it, except I just don't think you'll see either one of these two guys pass no banks like that.
No, these two fellows are by far the better players in the world today, and those shots may appear quite difficult for the average player, but for players like Buddy Hall, Kim Davenport, and yourself, Nick Varner, you're not going to pass very many of those shots up.
Well, to get to this stage, most of these players are looking to run out.
Well, he put a lot of left-hand English, and when that ball hit the rail, it just sort of like slid. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he cut it a little full, though, Bill. See, that's where that object ball goes into pocket really comes into play. I don't think he wanted to catch it that full. I think he wanted to catch it thinner, and then he might have ended a foot over, which makes a big difference.
It certainly does.
Three ball.
It certainly does. A matter of maybe a quarter of an inch on the contact of the two ball resulted in a little bit out of line on the three.
Or maybe an eighth of an inch.
An eighth of an inch. So that's how much you have to concentrate. Oh, he let the cue ball get away from him. Fortunately, it looks like he's going to get away with it. Now, the five ball is leaning back into the rail again. Now, that's some of the characteristics of this equipment. It's been rolling like that the entire tournament.
Yeah, on some shots, it's a real blessing, and on this one for Buddy, it's not so good. I think he's in a pretty good spot here to keep Kim from pocketing a ball in his next shot, though. I think he can shoot almost toward the piece of chalk, not quite, just miss the five going down and spin it back and just drive the four to the rail. I think
slow speed, Nick?
Slow speed with a lot of English. It better turn. He didn't quite catch it full enough. I can't tell if he's left Kim a shot. He needed just a little more English on that shot.
Yeah, I believe
Billy.
He's left Kim a shot.
He just didn't quite catch that ball with enough English because he just barely contacted the four instead of hitting directly underneath of it.
Exactly.
And it looks like Kim does have a shot, and he's going to try to drive that five off the rail. No, he's coming across. He's able to miss the five. I thought he had to go into the five, but he come across. Now he's got another crucial shot. Because
this is a tricky shot here.
This is very tricky, and I think here, unless I can't tell how much room there is on that end rail, but I think I might try to go into the eight here.
No, he went around it. I believe he tried to go into the eight. With the speed he hit the five ball with, it suggested at least that he tried to go into the eight. He went around it, and he does.
This is really not a bad position he's in here, because what he'll do here is he'll go up and down two rails and try to come above the seven, and he's laying on a pretty good line to end up with a nice angle on the seven. I know that nothing's worrying him right here except hitting it hard enough to clear here on the seven, or letting it get away and ended up on the end rail. Those are the only two bad things I could see that could happen there, but his speed was excellent. You can't ask for anything better than this. He's delighted, I know, with this. He is.
I don't know about this shot. He looks like he's following this ball. I don't like
three
this.
rails.
I don't like this shot.
It doesn't look that tough an angle to me, but I don't like three rails.
I don't like that shot. I just like him just drawing the ball back and playing the eight in the same pocket he played the six in. Keeping a nice angle and coming down table for the nine.
And if you can't do that, I'd go two before I go three here.
I don't like this shot because the pocket might not accept this ball with the speed he's going to hit it at.
Yeah, I agree there. Usually the way I like to play this shot is when the seven's a diamond or closer. That's usually what I use as a gauge. Once I get past that, it seems like my accuracy really goes down. When that seven is that first diamond next to the corner pocket on the rail the seven's on, that's what I kind of use as a gauge. I feel pretty comfortable with my accuracy when it's a diamond or closer to the pocket coming three rails. I don't have much fear of missing, but once I start getting toward that second diamond, unless I'm awful close to it, see, he was fairly far away from that. The distance that cue ball is from the ball makes a big difference too.
Certainly does.
But meanwhile, looks like it was no problem for Kim.
No, not that time. He struck it perfectly. At the end of game number 8, Nicholas Match is knotted up at 4 games apiece.
But anytime you get different players talking about the judgment on these shots, you're going to see some conflicting opinions. And I don't think it means that there's always one right and always one wrong. I think
like
certain
your concept.
players...
I like your concept on that. You know, If the 7 ball would have been down further near that first diamond or so, I would have shot the shot Kim shot, but I wouldn't have shot that shot. I would have
Or
threw
if
it
the
back.
cue ball had been a foot and a half closer, I might have
right.
considered
Maybe.
to the 7. I might have considered, but I don't think I would have done what he did, but I might have not got out either.
No, Buddy seems a little bit
Well, Buddy's catching Buddy's catching a jelly roll here. Kim came up dry and left him an easy shot on the 1-9.
But notice where all the balls are. Not one ball went by the side pocket, with the exception of the one ball went down the table and back up.
Yeah.
And that's a suggestion that the balls weren't racked that tightly.
Yeah, might be a suggestion. Maybe Kim on to mosey down to the end rail next time, huh?
Well, if I was Kim, I sure would take a look at the rack next time Buddy racked him. Now,
Well,
Kim's
one
disgusted.
thing I noticed, I think Kim might be, he does seem disgusted, and I
Sure.
just wonder if he thinks that Buddy did give him a bad rack.
I feel he let something slide by him. Now, Buddy had broken the balls this time fairly well. They didn't seem to open up that good, though, but he seemed to have broken them fairly well. He didn't
I
pocket
think
anything.
he lost about 20% of his speed on that break. It just didn't seem like that cue ball hit him with much emphasis. I think he just didn't quite get the speed on the white ball that he wanted on that break. But he's left Kim pretty tough. Kim's, I know, looking at a way to make this one. But the 2 is here. There's right in the middle of the end rail where the 4 pieces of chalk are together. That is the 2 ball underneath the 7. Closest to the rail, and the only pockets I see possibly open are the side and the pocket over where the orange 5 is on the opposite end, and those are both tough shots.
He's going on the side with this one ball, though.
Yeah, he's going in the side, and then he's going into the 8, and he could stay on that side. No, he missed the 8 because he hit the 1 real full.
It looks like, well, he may have left Buddy a combination on the 1-3 here.
Yeah, Buddy will play that 1-3, and the trick is for Buddy is going to be getting position on the 1 and then getting on the 2. That's the key of this.
Yeah,
making the 3 is not anything that's worrying him here, but what is worrying him is he may, I can't tell quite the angle, but I would think about maybe it looks like he can go a little bit right or stick there and then drive the 1 down to the end rail and maybe play the combination on the 5's real close to the hole. No, he hit it a lot harder. Evidently, he had to cut it more than what I thought, and he's ended up with a shot where he's going he's a little thin on this 1. By cutting it in, he's going to have trouble killing it in time for the 2.
Yeah, well, he had the ability to control the 1 ball in that particular shot. Now, the 1 ball came out, and I don't see what he can do here. I don't think he can go 3 rails around. I believe the 5 might be an obstacle also.
You could be right there. I personally would have preferred having that 1 die there along the rail and then kind of just letting the 1 roll along the rail and hitting that 5, but maybe it was too thin for that. But
in the meantime, he's confronted with a problem here.
He's got a big problem here because he's probably going to either have to bank it. There's one possibility that allows him probably to get shape unless the 8 ball's in the way.
You know, he only needs to get up by that side pocket with the cue ball and take the half the difficult cut into the corner.
Yeah, if he just clears the 8, he'll be happy. I believe he's going for the bank, but it looks like maybe cross-side.
Yes, he did.
I'll tell you what, that's a pretty frisky shot there,
Yes,
Billy.
That's
pretty offensive-minded there. I don't see nothing conservative about that approach.
No.
That was not a very easy bank to make.
And if you notice, the fans have shown their appreciation by responding and giving him a hand. A very knowledgeable crowd down here in Memphis, by the way.
And it is a packed house, and it's been a great tournament, and the promoter has really worked extremely hard, and I know he's probably ready for about a 2-week vacation minimum after this tournament, because he's probably, I think anybody that's made a request to him this week, he has honored every one of them, no matter who they are.
He's gone out of his way. Bill and Rosie South Haven Recreation Center and High Pockets World of Amusement, Players Billiard Club and Restaurant, the Billiard Pro Shop, and the Rack are the sponsors of this event, along with McDermott and Gandy.
I'll tell you what, Buddy took a chance there, and it really paid off on that one ball. He made just a great bank and controlled the speed where he got perfect on the 2, and now it's like every pool player's dream to end up with 4 balls on the table like this. Tell you what, he's playing with a lot of confidence there. It looked like to me you might just kind of bounce off there and play the 7 in another hole, but he came right around the 2 rails, and I might have just rolled off the rail there and played the 7.
Well, he likes that particular shot. We just seen him illustrate there for us. He likes that shot.
Well, it looks like this match, both players are really playing good pool. Almost as mistake-free as you can play.
And at the end of game number 10, Buddy Hall extends his lead over Kim Davenport 6 games to 4. The applause is really indicative of how these fans feel about Buddy, you know, and plus their appreciation of how masterfully he's been playing. I think the fans are giving Buddy the support that he deserves, and I feel that the Buddy is the sentimental favorite here.
Well, this is close. Memphis is close to, pretty close to where Buddy's from. He's from Paducah, Kentucky, and so I'm sure he feels right at home. At least the crowd feels he's right at home. Okay, now
Well, it looks like he's going to
all
get a shot this time, Nick.
It's a new story. He's made a ball. He's got a perfect shot on the 1. Here, the only thing, the big shot I see in this rack is going from the 3 to the 4 ball. Speed shot. He needs the right angle. I think he got a little bit too straight on this 2. He'd like to have maybe a little bit more angle, but it probably won't be a problem. But
He should have came out
from here, it looks like he's a little flat, but he should be okay. It just makes it a little bit tougher.
Well,
He's got to dodge the side here is all he's got to do. Not go too far and get into the 6 and 8. And you can see he had that thought in mind, because another 4 or 5 inches would have made this shot a lot easier. But one nice thing here is where the 5's at. All he has to do is make the 4 speed control. It's not a real big consideration on this 4 ball.
that's exactly right.
And we saw Kim missed that 4 ball earlier in the match, and that was mostly because he had to hit it so extremely hard for position that it just made it a really difficult shot.
And at the same time, we're having a women's division here also, and Mary Kennison is playing Ped Ledman to see who in fact gets the opportunity to play Eva Mataya for the title. And that match is all knotted up at 4 games apiece, going to 9. Oh, he's playing extremely well. He'll just make the 8 in the side pocket here and just go 3 rails around. Play the 9 in the right-hand corner pocket. That's the way I see it. He's got such wonderful speed, Nick. He came up a tad bit short, but I don't think he has a problem.
His control is definitely a couple of the
Well, that's the end of game number 11. Buddy Hall extends his lead even further now in this match at 7 games to 4. If Buddy starts making balls on the break and ends and gets shots, I don't think that we're going to be here very much longer.
I tell you what, I think Buddy's probably hitting the pocket as well as anybody I've seen play. Kim's hitting it good naturally. The people that are left are usually the people that are hitting the pocket the best.
The resurgence of Buddy Hall, 2-year drought on the MPBA tour, winning several months ago in Moline, Illinois. Looks like he's playing at the top of his game once again. Well, he didn't pocket a ball that time on the break. Now Kim Davenport comes to the table with his opportunity.
Well, Kim's faced with a shot on this 1, and the 6 and 5 are kind of blocking the 2. The 2's along the side rail, right below the 3 that's right at the point of the side pocket. And his problem here is position on this 2. He's either going to have to soft roll it and end up just a little bit above the 4. He may be able to come off a foot or 2, but he's got to guard against hooking himself behind this, letting the 6 interfere with the path on this 2.
Right.
And it looks like
I don't think he has
something
much
about it. He don't like it. It looks like evidently he must have to cut this 1 where he's a little worried about coming too far. He's going to have to roll this very easy, and nobody really likes this type of shot. Look how soft he hit that belly. And
he didn't have much faith in the table. You
can't say that I blame him.
This is a very, very, very crucial shot in this particular rack right here.
Yes, it is.
Struck it very well.
Yes, he did. He really hit that nice. And if he gets out here, he's made a fairly difficult out. Those first 2 shots were very testy shots.
Yes, he certainly was.
He's down 7-4, and this is why some players can't get to this stage of the tournament, because once they lose their comfort zone of a couple or 3 game lead, all of a sudden they just can't get. They can't run out in easy situations, let alone tough situations, and that's what makes Kim a champion.
This is the other problem he has to deal with, getting on the 5. If he gets on the 5, then the rack should be over.
Yeah, it looks like he's looking to see if it goes in the side, but it don't look like it goes in the side to me. He does have, he's not out of the woods yet. He's got to get on this 5. You really called attention to a crucial shot in this rack. He's really zeroing in on it, I tell you that.
He hit it perfectly, Nick. It was a very nice shot. Very nice shot.
I tell you what, he really had some kind of concentration. Did you see how hard he aimed at that ball? I mean, he just aimed and aimed and aimed and just hit it in nice and clean. Got good speed on the 5.
I think he's close enough. I think he's close enough to the 5 ball where he could just pinch it. I don't even think he has to go to a rail here, but he chose to go to a rail. But I didn't think he had to. But of course, I'm not down there at the table. I can't feel the angles that he can see. Well, now the 8 does not pass the 9. And so he's going to have to do a little something here, Nick. He has about 2 or 3 options, and it looks like he's trying to force this ball back over on the other side of the table, hitting the long rail going back. Well, obviously the 8 does pass the 9.
Yeah, evidently he's looking like it does.
Barely,
yeah,
but that's all he needs.
Tight,
Okay, that is the end of game number 12, Nick. Kim Davenport seems to be cutting into this lead of Buddy Hall's. Now it's 7-5. Now Kim's probably going to check this rack right now, Nick. And the last time he broke the balls.
If he was a little unhappy, I don't know what he was unhappy about myself, but if he didn't like the way those balls come apart, you can bet he'll be down there looking at them.
Well, the last time he broke the balls, only 1 ball went past the side pocket, you know, and he has a big break. So I'd be surprised if he didn't go back on the other side of the table and check the rack. And here he's taking a little walk now. He's putting his nose into the balls, it looks like. He wants to get a good look at them.
Yeah, and here he comes.
Well, he's broken them well again, but he really didn't get the action he deserved off that break. He pocketed the 1 ball in the corner pocket, but he doesn't have the shot. This is the same problem Buddy Hall had yesterday playing Mike Siegel.
It shows you how important the break is, but it shows you don't win every match, doesn't it, Billy?
No, it doesn't win every match, but it certainly helps. But in this particular match, it's not helping Kim. He's not getting a shot off the break. Okay, what do you think about this little push, and what do you do from here?
Okay. Well, what I say is I don't like the idea. you can shoot fairly easy and maybe try to get the cue ball to the middle of the end rail and just try to keep the 2 from clearing the 7. Now, that's a pretty fine hit.
I passed this shot, Nick. I don't see any future in this shot. I think if Kim takes this shot...
I'll tell you what I kind of like here, Billy. I like playing this ball 2 rails and shooting it hard, and hope you can catch that 5 ball, and if it goes, okay, and if it don't, it'll probably end up on the end rail.
It definitely needs perfect execution.
He's trying to make it, period.
You're right, that's exactly...
What a hit that was.
Very nice shot.
Once again, Buddy Hall has demonstrated where he lives, Kentucky, the home of bank pool.
That's for sure. Well, he lives in... I think he lives in Metropolis, Illinois, but he's from Kentucky originally, and that's what you were referring to, naturally.
Yeah, Metropolis is right across from Paducah, Kentucky.
Oh, he's playing the 3 in the side pocket off the 6. He wasn't comfortable with that shot. A strong indication of that is his position on the 4. He really didn't have the concentration that he needed to have on that shot. And he can't afford to blunder like that playing Kim Davenport.
No, because Kim has a way of making you pay. And here the angle on the 5 is real crucial. And then anytime you've got that 8 and 9 together this close where it only goes in one hole, the position on the 7 is going to be vital to this run out. And he's coming toward the 7. If he ain't careful, he's going to get in trouble.
Well, once again, Kim, Kim has the opportunity to win a game, but once again, the balls are located in a very awkward position on the table. Like the 8 and 9 are tied up, the 6 is on a real close to the 7. So it's not really an easy run out.
Tell you what, that was a tough shot on the 5, jacked up, and he had to hit it hard. The only 2 shots Kim's missed is when he's had to really power the shot.
That's exactly right. Okay, now the opportunity swings into Buddy Hall now. Let's see if he can take advantage of it.
Right here's a case that'll win you a lot of tournaments if you can just a lot of people look at this position shot on TV and think it's a hanger, but if you can play position on the 6 here, this will win you a lot of tournaments on a shot like this, because this is no gimme.
Oh, he hit it very well, it appears, Nick. Coming up a tad bit short.
He's short. He wanted to go a lot further. Now he does have a choice whether to go across and come underneath the 7. No, he's going to try to come across, but above the side and come back across as close to where he's at as he can get for the 7. But he could end up with a little more length there than he wants.
And considering where the 8 and 9 is, this is a very difficult wrap to get out.
Oh, he's shorting it up so nice, but what has happened to him here is he has not come far enough, and he's faced with a big decision here. Well, where do you go for the 8?
I'd play the shot. I'd naturally pocket the 7 ball in the corner pocket, going 2 rails underneath the 8, hopefully gaining position to either play the 8 in the corner or the side.
It may not, yeah, it may go in the corner, but that's exactly right, because you can do something from there. The only thing on this shot you don't want to do is end up underneath the 9 over here where you can't hit the 8. And Buddy, if he falls straight on the side, why, he's going to end up with a bank or something. Right,
and, he at least has an option to either play safe as long as he can hit the 8. But most importantly, you must pocket the 7.
Yeah, because he's going to have to hit this just a little harder than he'd like, and that's when these tables are playing a little bit tight, and they can jar real easy. Oh, no, he did something else.
He had a wonderful shot in mind. He executed it too good.
Was off, just too hard. He hit it so good that he ended up in the one spot you don't want to be.
That's for sure, behind the 9 ball.
I tell you, I see a possibility here, though, Bill, and a very good one for Buddy. Go shoot on the rail he's standing by, shoot into that and try to catch the 8. Any place on the top side.
Go up table.
And go up table with the white, and if you catch the side rail, the 8's going to come back on the end rail. I see a very, very good shot I really like. I don't like this way. I really don't like this way he's going about this, because he almost has to leave Kim a shot here unless the 8 goes cross-side once or twice. That's the only good thing I can see that can happen here.
Well, you're right, Nick. He has left Kim a shot. He leads in this match at 7 games to 5. This is game 13. If Kim is able to pocket the 8,
I think what Buddy
And then
was
the
hoping
9.
for there, he's hoping to make that one either once cross-side or twice cross-side is what he was counting on. But I like the other shot. I think, I tell you what, I don't think he's hardly any underdog going the other way. Tell you the truth, he might be the favorite. Tell you the truth, in that position, even though he was hooked, I think if he'd went the other way, he might have had the best of it.
Well, the way you explained it, and once you explain it, you get to take a good look at it, and you can visualize what would happen. He might have been the favorite. But, you have a lot of confidence shooting that type of a shot because you probably practiced that a lot. I think you have some systems on that, don't you, Nick? On kicks and...
Well, not the one-rail kick like that. Just from experience of seeing what happens when you go wrong. Most people, usually when I kick at balls certain ways like that, I have a way to usually err in judgment that's usually either short or long, and I of mine, and it kind of helps make my accuracy a little consistent. Now I do use a couple system for 2 and 3 railers, but not one railers. That's mostly just judgment.
Well, this match is starting to get a lot tighter at 7-6. Kim's broken the balls. I believe he's pocketed one ball on the break. The 2 and 4 are the balls located on the left-hand portion of your screen. The 4 ball being the one in the pocket. Kim's got an excellent opportunity to tie this match up here, Nick.
Yeah, the key here is getting on the 2. He's got to go 2 rails back and forth and clear the 6. And looks like now, as long as he stays in line, it looks like he should be able to get out here. I don't see... Well, the 2 got away from him a little bit there, and he has hooked himself.
Well, he's hooked himself from being able to pocket the ball.
I don't understand why he hit that hard. If he shoots easily, there's no way that can happen.
Well, there's the difference between the styles there. Now, if Buddy Hall would have shot that shot, he would have definitely considered the speed of the cue ball and also the 2 ball in that shot. But Kim, sort of like impetuously, just got up there and shot the shot.
Yeah, we're all guilty once in a while of making the wrong selection, unfortunately, out of nowhere, this is what really is one of the most discouraging thing of pool is when you have an easy run out like that is end up in a tough position like this because he's really got a tough shot. He's playing safe, and if the 2 goes...
He's got a shot, though.
He's lucky, though. He was trying to hook Buddy there, and he kissed the 2 in off the 3, and it's not an easy one, but...
it's a game winner.
But it's a shot that he can win the game with. And I'd rather be...
You'd rather
on
be
him
shooting.
To make it. Yeah,
I'd rather be shooting
because I have all the confidence in the world. I know he is the favorite on this shot, in my mind, anyway.
And he hit it directly in the center of the pocket, leaving no doubt. Well, I think Kim is upset with the way Buddy's moving in the chair. Buddy's smoking in the chair, and it seems to be bothering Kim because he looked over at Buddy when Buddy put down a cigarette. I don't know if, in fact, that's what it is, but I strongly feel that's what it may be.
Those are things I'm lucky I don't very seldom notice. I've been pretty fortunate. I usually don't even know my opponent's in the chair, so I am thankful for that. It's only when they get out of the chair that it concerns me.
I think Kim has gotten a little bit on the wrong side of this ball here.
Yeah, he's going to try to probably go across or draw straight back, and he's coming across, and he's got a nice angle to go to the end rail, swing around 2 rails for the 9.
He's fine
He's pretty
now.
well where he wants. He could be another 6 inches. It wouldn't be bad, but this, I know, is not worrying him at all.
Well, it looks like he's going to knot up this match at 7 games apiece once he pockets the 9 ball. And we're going to have what we consider a possible cliffhanger here.
Yeah, it seems like...
Well, we knew this was going to be a tough match.
That was a big, in terms of Buddy keeping control of this match, he really lost it when he hooked himself behind the 9 on that 8 ball. That was, he had a chance to maintain a 2-game swing, and, or was it 3?
Well, yeah, it was going to be a 2-game lead if he would have
yeah, a 2-game lead. And now he's the underdog because it's 7-7, and Kim's breaking, and Kim's he's went over to the right. He's going to try the right to break from this time. And he hit him just a... Boy, he hits this break square. He's made a ball. And, but he's on this one. It's an awful thin cut for the corner. He's got an easy safe.
I think he's going to elect to shoot the safe. I know that I would. I don't know about you. And the reason I would is simply because the 8 ball is a big ball there. You know, he could make the 1 and get hooked over with the 8. So therefore, that would be a strong consideration of mine right now. The 8's there. Even if I do make the 1 ball, I cut it paper thin into the corner, I still don't have to get a shot on the 2. So I think I'd like to play a safety here.
Yeah, he's debating about where to go here. I think I'd have to try to cover him up with the 9, 3, 8, and 5, and 4.
Yeah, all them balls there are...
It looks like a forest down there, so I think I might have to go for this
one. One reel right behind all those balls, and he chose to do that. He may have left him a keyhole here, Nick. It's very possible.
And I can tell you what Mr. Hall is going to do with this 1 ball. It's coming right down here toward the corner pocket somewhere. And knowing him, it's going to be awful close to this hole when it comes down here, Billy.
Well, he has another option now. Notice the same wall of balls that he's behind. Well, he has them balls right there, or those balls, to put Kim behind if he elects to overcut the 1 and bank it down this end of the table.
I don't like that, because I think to hit that nice thin hit on that 1 requires more skill in making this bank, and if you make this bank, it's over with. Well, no, he don't shoot. Acts like he's... I don't know what he's doing really here. He's trying to play safe. Evidently, the bank wouldn't go, is my guess.
That's probably right.
Evidently, the bank just didn't go. He must have only been able to hit the outside edge of the 1.
That's probably true.
And tell you what, he's played a great shot there. He hit the 8 and stopped behind the 4, and now Kim's going to the side rail. One of the biggest dangers of this type of kick is this corner pocket where the 7's at. You have to guard against it. I don't know how many times I kicked and ended up in this pocket before I realized that it was there on this shot, but believe me, this corner's there, and I'm sure we'll see Kim avoid it. He crossed over it, he took no chance, and he got it out in the forest, and he's really got Buddy. I like the position Kim's in here. Buddy's gonna, if Buddy hits the 1, I think he's got a good chance to get away, but he's got to go between the 3 and 9, or else off the side rail, and if he hits it, lots of good things can happen.
Well, it doesn't appear that he can hit it.
But it's not an easy one to hit. That's what I mean. It's a little tough to hit. I don't know if he can go 1 rail, and I think he's going to the end rail, and he may have to spin it just a hair with the reverse to come back a little shorter than he's going into the end rail. And this is one of the toughest balls to hit here. As far as I know, the only way to execute this well is the same way you pocket balls. You have to use the right judgment. And he might have made it in the side.
Well, he did make it in the side, and it looks like he's played position at the same time.
Right there is why it pays to bear down on all kick shots, because I really would have felt comfortable going back to my chair against Buddy there, figuring something good could happen. But like I said, if he hits the 1, something good can happen, and he's going to win this game because of it. Well, a lot of people say that's luck, but that's why you should always concentrate on hitting that ball.
Well, Nick, Buddy, uncharacteristic of the way he does play, played himself out of line on the 3 ball. You know, after receiving an opportunity, as he did by lucking in the 2 ball, or excuse me, the 1 ball, he was a little careless pocketing the 2 ball. He ran into the 3. Now he doesn't have a shot except for the side pocket, and that's certainly not the pocket that he wanted to shoot the 3 in.
No, this is a tough cut for the side. I tell you, this is a big game. It's 7-7. Buddy's shooting. I tell you what, he really needs to make this 3 here to put himself in a good position to win this match.
Now watch the cue ball. Looks like it has.
I tell you what, it may not be hard enough. It may not be hard enough, and it isn't. It may not be hard enough.
And do you play this in the side or the corner? You play it in the side if you want to stay up table for the 5. If you play it in the corner, you're going away from the ball. I think that should be a consideration here.
He's going for the side, isn't he?
I don't know. I can't tell from this angle.
I can't tell real good either, but I believe he's going for the side.
Okay, he's struck it just about perfectly.
Well, those last 2 shots, those are the type that enable you to win tournaments. There's not a whole lot of people that can make those 2 shots when they're playing Kim Davenport, and the score is 7-7.
Notice how he stroked that ball when it followed right through the cue ball, making sure that the cue ball went to the rail and back.
Here's a shot, Billy. Now here you got 2 valid choices. You go 2 rails for the 8, or you come up 1 rail off a table. Which one do you prefer?
I like coming up 1 rail, keeping a nice angle on the 8. But he's chose to play the ball the other way, and
yeah, the more I play, the less I like this shot, because you have to hit it about twice as hard.
Right, and the pocket becomes a lot
the
tougher.
pocket gets a little smaller. The way you're talking about, you're shooting at a big hole down there.
Right, and you can come out, and you're always got a good position shot. You got a nice angle. You can play the 8, the 9 in the corner or the side.
Now, most of the time, I prefer 2 rail position, but that time I prefer the 1 rail position.
All you had to do is make sure you had the right speed on the cue ball, and you got an easy shot in the 8. Perfect
Basically,
angle.
you just can't. If you shoot too hard, it's the only thing I can see there.
Okay, at the end of game 15, Buddy Hall has an 8-7 lead in the match now.
Well, Buddy earned that one the hard way, Billy. Even after ending up, that shows you how tough this game become, because he kicked, hit the 1, made the 1 in the side, and then it looked like he had an easy run out, and he ran into the 3 coming up table off the 2, and all of a sudden things got tough in a hurry.
They sure did, but he made an excellent recovery by pocketing the 4 on the side, going 3 rails around, landing just about perfectly on the 5.
Well, this match has the makings of a 10-10 here anyway.
It's 8-7 now in favor of Mr. Hall, who's breaking the balls. He didn't check the rack, by the way. The ball's opened up for him that time. Boy, they really opened up. And it looks like they're going to spread out of the way. He's going to have a shot on the 2 ball here. The problem right away that I can see is the 7-8. Now, he's going to take a look at the layout now. He'll evaluate it, and he'll decide.
Well, and this 2's a little bit thin, Billy. Yeah, I'm sure he'll probably come 2 rails and spin it and with low left, but it looks like, to me, you got to be sure you pocket the 2 here. I mean, he has to hit this 2 pretty thin coming around and not real hard. So he's coming a little too far.
Little brisk.
He cinched that ball just a little bit. He went a firmer speed, and now he's kind of in no man's land, so to speak, on this 3 ball. And you know, this is the type of shot you almost need to be down there to see what you're going to do. And
well, if he can cut the 3 ball in the right-hand corner pocket and go 2 rails, you think he can clear the 9 and go on the? You think he can miss the 9? If he can cut the 3 ball in this right-hand corner pocket, do you think he can go 2 rails and over top of the 9?
It looks like what he's done, Billy. It looks like he can catch the end rail around that cluster of 3 chalks there.
If he can do that, I think he'll clear the 9.
Well,
he didn't clear the 9, but
nice kiss on
he got a very nice kiss. Very nice.
That was a friendly 9 ball that time for him, where it kind of bit him before.
Quickly, the 4 ball. Do you follow it down and get on the bottom side of the 6, going across the table in between the 7 and 8? Do you like that?
I think so. He's going to look like maybe come up table, but I like coming across table here.
Yeah, I like following the 4 down, getting on the bottom side of the 6, and then going across the table, coming in between the 7 and 8. That's my preference.
I agree with you here, and he's looking at. I don't like this combination. On some tables, I'd like the 7-8. I wouldn't. I'd just stop it and come 2 rails up by the side, and I'd play this combination. But these tables are a little too tough. That's not a high percentage shot. I don't feel here.
I don't think so either, and I feel the same way. And these pockets are cut down to 4.5 inches, which actually creates much more of a problem with this type of a shot. Okay, I don't like exactly what he did there. It looks like he's gotten himself about straight in.
He may force him. He may get forced into playing the 7 or 8 now.
He's definitely committed here.
I don't even know what he was trying to do there, to tell you the truth. Have to maybe ask him after the match, but
I think he tried to do exactly what he did.
He's going to come back and play the 7 or 8 here. The 7-8 combo, I guess.
No question about it.
One thing for sure, yeah, another couple inches would have been nice here. Here's one time where 2 more inches really cuts down on the degree of difficulty. I still kind of like him shooting this. I think he's a favorite shooting.
Oh, no question about it. He's a favorite shooter.
This is not automatic. This one, he really has to hit this nice and clean.
It'll be 9-7 or 8-8.
There's no ducking here.
And that's exactly why Nick Varner would rather play position between the 7 and 8 opposed to playing for the combination, because the pockets are small on this particular equipment, and something like this should be a consideration.
And that's where, like I was saying, getting full on that ball. See, he had to cut that 7 just a little. If he'd been 2 more inches off the rail straight into that 7, I feel that this wouldn't have happened.
Makes the shot so much easier. He might pocket both of these balls.
This might be a little tricky right here.
I'd go to pocket both balls in this shot, which he did, stopping perfect for the 9 on the side.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, he really did good. Now he all of a sudden, instead of 9-7, it's 8-8, and
that's exactly right. At the game 16, this match is not up 8 games apiece. The reason I would try to pocket both balls with that particular shot is if you hit it too easy and you baby it, after striking the 8 ball with the 7 might rest on the rail, and then you're going to have no shot.
Right.
But by stroking it, you get a lot more accuracy with the shot. Pocketing both balls, you're right in line. Why not go for it?
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. He played it perfect.
Well, he's played it perfect. The match is all knotted up at 8 games apiece. The fans certainly like close matches, and they certainly have one here.
Yeah, they'll be getting revved up here in a little bit, another game or two.
Another game or two.
Alive.
It'll be hill another game or two.
Tell you what, he hit those absolutely square, but nothing's going to find the hole. But he's put Buddy in a position one more time. Looks like he's got a reasonable shot on the 1 here toward the corner pocket, cutting it back. I'm not sure. He'd like to play it, but I think the 5's probably blocking it. It's still a testy shot regardless of which way, but going for this other hole, there's lots of things. That 8's in the way and the pocket's in the way over.
I know there's 2 problems in the rack immediately. That's the 4 ball. There, you only have a few pockets to pocket the 4 in, and the 7 and 8.
Yeah.
The 7 and 8 is definitely a problem.
Yeah, and this first shot.
And this first shot.
This is a crucial shot here.
Yeah, Buddy Hall,
I tell you
very
what,
nice
he
shot.
just purified that ball. Went a little further than he wanted. I think he wanted to play the 2 maybe in this side, but now he's got where, except for the fact, I tell you, he don't want to get too frisky with this 2 in terms he don't want to have to force this 2 too much, and then he's going to land on not the best angle in the world to get on the 4.
If he can just stop his ball, I think he'd be okay.
Yeah, if he stops his ball, he's got an angle to come up. But, boy, that next shot's going to be one of extreme good. He tried to draw back and cinch it a little bit. He drew back and yeah, I believe I prefer what you said there, Billy. Take a little tougher shot on the 3 going to the 4, because if you shoot a little easier, that shot on the 2 is a lot easier. And
Well, Kim certainly landed in an ideal position on the table, the game position on the 4. All he's got to do now is pocket a 3 and go cross table, falling short of the side and back off the rail.
Yeah, Kim's in real good shape. The real
I don't like him
problem
elevating.
he has to solve. Yeah, he could lose the cue ball here. Anytime you elevate, speed becomes
I don't like
tougher.
the elevation.
I like spinning it up.
Yeah, much
with
better. Much
high
better.
left here. I don't like jacking up. I like this bouncing off. Well, no, he's going across one more time. He went the extra rails there, extra couple rails.
He certainly is a daring player. I mean, truly.
And he's looking like the 9 has a chance, but
Yeah.
if he makes the 4, I don't think it has no chance.
Well, I don't
One
know.
way you can make the 9 here, I
It's
think.
missed the 4.
Miss the 4, overcut it. I think if you make the 4, the 9 will miss the pocket 2 or 3 inches, I think. But he was looking at it, and he don't seem comfortable with his shot.
But I think you have to concentrate on pocketing the 4. The 9 shouldn't be a consideration here.
No, I just try. I wouldn't pay any attention to 9 being there. But he's
Look, he's trying to follow this ball. I don't believe it's the right way to cue the cue ball in this particular shot. I think you have to force the ball off the 9 to the side rail.
I would mostly here wouldn't. I mean, I have a general idea where the cue ball's going, but I would shoot the speed that I feel I can make this ball. And other considerations, I just have to face whatever shot I come up with on the 5. I worry about it next. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. You know, you got a confrontation with the 9 here, so most importantly, pocket the 4 ball. Forget about everything else, just pocket the 4 ball. You'll most likely be at the table with a fairly decent shot on the 5. Okay, that's exactly what he's done. He's pocketed the 4 ball, and
I'll tell you what,
he's a little
what makes
awkward
this
here.
important, he'd like to be, in this situation, you'd like to be in a position where you could play position on the 6. He could end up a little tough on the 6 to get to the 7 here. He's cutting the 5 in the side, swinging around 3 rails.
It looks like he's missed it.
Overcut the 5.
It looks like he's missed it,
And he's played pretty fortunate, I think. I think Buddy's going to have to play a safe, and he's kind of removing the problem when he plays the safe. He could leave. He's got to be careful he don't leave Kim a shot on the 5 in the side by chipping the 5 or a bank cross side, and then he's removing the problem of the 7 and 8. So
that's right. That's what he's doing. He don't want to do that, but he's forced to do that.
He's forced to because he can only hit the part of the 5 here.
And I think he's forced to spin the ball 2 rails back up the table where he's at now, and the possibility of a scratch is always there.
I was thinking about just lagging it toward these 2 pieces of chalk and just try to keep the. Well, I tell you what, I really like the way he's played this.
I certainly do too.
I didn't think he could do that. I didn't either. I didn't think there was that much room, but underneath that 8. But he has played just a dynamite shot here. I really. Until this next shot, anyway, I think he's a favorite on winning this game because of it.
Well, I think for sure now Kim's confronted with a dilemma here. He doesn't have anything to do that he really likes. I don't know what would you do here?
Well, you might this might be a choice. I might have to think anyway about hitting the 5 hard and going into the 7 and hope something good happens.
This is one of those situations we were talking about a little earlier today. About, you know, sometimes you're just forced to try to get lucky.
Yeah, and that's what he seems to be looking at, because by hitting these balls hard and them balls flying around the table doesn't necessarily mean that one of them won't fly in.
That's right.
And it doesn't mean that Buddy will have a shot either.
This is rock and roll. No, he's elected to...
He was trying to bank that straight cross side. I didn't realize he could hit that much of it. Well, in addition to make the 7, it looked like.
Well, fortunately for Buddy, he took the 7 off the rail, and the 5 ball rested on the table where he can just draw back maybe just a half a foot, 6 or 7 inches, and he should be perfect.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think you can afford to stop here. It may be too much angle on the 6, but I know one thing. I'm not going to hit this 5 any harder than I have to, because there's a big hole down there by shooting medium.
And he just missed in that hole a little while ago.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, he caught the heart of it that time, and he went ahead and drew her back, got perfect angle on the 6, and it looks like Buddy's going to be able to keep his lead, which he's held throughout most of the match. He's managed to stay on the upper side.
Every game is extremely crucial at this point of the match. It's 8 games apiece. We're going to 11. Both players are playing extremely well in this match. It's been a hard-fought match the entire way.
Yeah, this has been a great match. There's been very few mistakes, mostly just great shots.
Right now, Kim Davenport is the only obstacle in Buddy's way in front of Mike Siegel.
Yeah, the winner of this match will meet Mike tonight at 9:30, isn't it, Bill?
I believe so.
And Buddy's staying in the lead. One thing for sure, Billy, you can't lose.
No, you
you're
can't.
ahead.
And he's 1 game closer. They're going to 11. He's got 9. Davenport's got 8. He's 2 games away from victory, but yet so far away.
Well, watching this match, you see why these two guys are in this position, because this has been you're exactly right, it's been a really well-played match. Both players are playing real good, and they're both taking advantage of their turns at the table, and
Extremely, extremely hard-fought match. These guys out there, they're really fighting hard. He struck the
he
balls
hit those
well,
hard,
very well.
but the one missed that side. It hit the point, and
The 6 and 9 are tied up on the bottom row. Right away, I see that. It appears that he's straight in the corner pocket with the 1. The 2 is the ball that's located right by the foot spot there. So the problem is the 6 and 9.
yeah, he's looking at it. I don't think it goes. If it don't go, you might have to give some consideration to playing a combination on 2-9-6 next. I would have to think about it anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a great observation. Right away, you noticed the offensive shot there and no way to deal with this rack.
And I'll be surprised if Kim overlooks it if this combination doesn't go. Evidently, he figures he can do something with that. Even though he kind of frowned, evidently, if he gets on that side, it must go.
Yeah, the 9 ball must be pocketable in that right-hand corner pocket. He might have a pocket there for the combination, or else I don't see why he wouldn't have elected to shoot the shot you suggested.
Tell you what, he would have liked to win a little further here. He's got a little more angle, and I can't tell. I guess the 5 goes where the 7's at, or maybe he has to come all the way across, but he might have a little trouble getting in that corner if he's not careful.
Oh, he mishit the 4 ball, it looks like.
Isn't it amazing how often when you get a little bit out of line, it just kind of shows up. It seems like they get so much harder when you end up a foot short sometime. I think it's more mentally than anything else. I think you're still thinking about ending up a foot short instead of concentrating on aiming the ball, and it seems to be a disease it's a little hard to correct sometimes.
That's exactly right. And if he would have pocketed the 4, he would have had a nice angle off the 5 to go down table and back up for the 6-9. I mean, this certainly isn't ideal, but he certainly could have made it. Looks like peg-to-peg Ledman just defeated Mary Keniston 9 games to 7 for the right to meet Eva Mataya in the finals.
And Mary, she's won a couple tournaments. She's really been on the top of her game this year, hasn't she?
Yes, she
Billy?
has. Yes, she has. She has a nice billiard room in Las Vegas,
Well,
Nevada.
Billy, how you like this angle? I got to go for the corner, not the side here.
I got to go for the corner,
there's
too.
no question here in my mind. The side's the easier pocket, maybe, but by playing it in the corner, it just puts you deep down here with not much danger of scratching. The only thing is you could stop a little too short and really make it tough, the combo.
But, of course, you can elect to play safety. Or if the combination is not makeable, he always has the option now to go into the balls with this angle.
Yeah, you're exactly right. If I thought if I got to the end rail this was an easy combination, I wouldn't break it up. But if I, from 4 inches off that rail, couldn't make that 9, I'd think I'd elect to do what you're saying, go into him, because the odds of not being able to do something afterwards are a little bit remote, I think.
Yeah, he's electing to play the 5 in the side here. This is very interesting.
He must be going to try to break him up, surely. because I thought about this.
Now look at this.
motive.
Look at this precise shot.
I'm
Oh
telling
my
you.
goodness.
I tell you what, Justice, that hit Justice, I don't think in my mind prevailed.
No, it
nothing
certainly
against
didn't.
Kim
It certainly
Davenport,
didn't.
but you can't strike that much better. It just needed to be just a fraction harder, and he would have been perfect. And
I think he's going to find him. He's going to put him behind the 9 here.
yeah, this is, if he puts him behind the 9, he probably still wins.
And I think that's exactly what he's done. He's parked him behind the 9. Kim does have an out, but not a very good one.
Well, one thing, never underestimate this Kim's kicking ability. This Kim is a little dangerous in this spot because of his expertise with the kick shot. I wouldn't be feeling like the game was over right now. This Kim is dangerous in this spot.
Buddy hasn't won this game by putting him behind the 9, but he certainly has increased his chances. As Nick suggested, don't count this man out because
just look
he is
right
an
now,
expert kicker.
Even though he almost made it, and Buddy's got to earn the game. Buddy didn't get no gift here. He's got to earn this game. He's got to come.
He's got to come with it.
A real
He's
shot.
got to come with it. The only place to go from here is home, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to come with his shot.
Well, the score's 9-8, and Buddy's really got a crucial shot here. If he makes it, it figures to go 10-8, and if he misses, it figures to be 9-9 with Kim breaking. The advantage here is swings with the 6 ball. And
this shot requires...
I would rather be shooting it, but it is very, very missable.
This shot requires intense concentration. He's hit it.
Not too hard, not too hard.
But the problem
this
is
is kind of like
it looks like he's
Murphy's
going to be
Law
okay.
here.
It looks like he's going to be okay. Just, I think that he may be okay here.
He's got an awful thin hit, Billy. I guarantee you this one looks almost as tough as the last one, I think.
Maybe a little tougher, huh? But of course, he's much closer to the ball.
Yeah.
Now,
I
the
believe
possibility
he's going for the bank. I believe he's banking this ball.
he could be. If he cuts it in, the possibility of a scratch is there, either off the 8 or straight in the pocket. If he banks it, being an excellent bank pool player, like you said, from Kentucky, pocketing the ball cross corner, swinging 2 rails down table, and almost perfect line. But of course, this rack's not over yet. He has to stroke this ball back. And it appears that the angle is going to be pretty close to the 9. He's going to be pretty close to the 9, looks like, from here.
Yeah, he's got to concentrate here because he don't want to let this game get away. He's in too good a position. He's made 2 great shots, and
he hit
forced
it over. That was
he
nice.
hit it real nice. Good speed, off the rail, and
what appears, at least from this point, that if Kim Davenport's going to win this match, he's going to have to win 3 consecutive games to do it. And he might not even get an opportunity.
that's the thing that scares you the most about your opponent getting on the hill. It's not so much you think you can't win, it's the idea that maybe you won't get a chance to win.
That's exactly right. Kim Davenport certainly has the ability, the firepower, and the courage to come from behind 10-8, but he might not even have an opportunity. Buddy Hall is going to see to it, at least he's going to try to see to it that Kim Davenport doesn't get an opportunity. He's going to bear down on this break, considering this is the last opportunity he will have to break the balls. He'll probably make the best of it.
Well, Buddy wants to make a ball on number 1. He wants to make a ball and get the first opportunity regardless of what it is. He wants to remain at the table after this break. He's really going to zero in on this break. And
well, he certainly did. Notice the cue ball is stopped right in the center of the table. Now, fortunately, the 5 kicked the 1 on the other side of the table, creating a little more difficult shot for Kim.
yes, it did. He's got to go. I think you got to go into the 2 ball here. I don't think there's any way to dodge going into the 2 here. And boy, you need to almost hit it full where you stick and hope the 2 goes straight across and back across. And you also want to aim at the 1 a little bit because it's a little bit thin.
It's a tough shot. But most importantly, your emphasis must go on pocketing the 1 ball here.
You got to try to get that 2 and stay down here with it. You don't want to come up table on the top side of that 2, and he did exactly what I was talking about. And he still got to, if it had come another 6 inches, he'd had a little better angle. He may have to soft roll this shot. I don't know if he can go straight back and forth 2 rails. I think he...
This is the most... This seems to be the most crucial shot of the rack right here.
Yeah. Oh, what a shot. He come above the side.
What a shot. Trailing 10 games to 8. What a shot.
That was a great shot. And now it's looks like to me that looks like he pretty well took care of his work there. The 1 and 2 was a real crucial shots in this rack.
But like you had mentioned earlier in the match, even though it may appear that it's routine, you must keep your eyes on the balls.
Right, here's a case where, once again, if he was a foot off that rail, he would, now he knows he's got to concentrate. Making the 5 becomes a test, in other words. If he's a foot off the rail, it's automatic. From here, you've got to really aim hard.
This is a very similar angle to the ball that he just missed. The 4 ball, he cut it backwards like.
Yeah.
But of course, the 4 ball was a lot more difficult than this, but it's a similar angle, I would think. And then once again, he's overcut it, but this time, the speed allowed the ball to go into the pocket.
Yeah, I think that's why he didn't bounce off over here, Billy. I think his decision there was that allowed him to shoot a little easier, and that pocket was able to swallow it up, where if he'd snapped it and drawed it, that ball will still be sitting there.
That's exactly right. The ball would have never dropped if he would have shot it with a harder speed. This match is 10 games to 8. Favor of Buddy Hall. Kim Davenport at the table with an opportunity to cut into the lead.
Tell you what, it looks like to me here he may have to shoot pretty hard to get shape here.
Yeah, but he likes that shot. He's close to the ball. Boom. What we have here is a 10-9 match.
With Kim breaking. Well, Kim really made a nice out there. Down 10 to 8, and he come with 2 great shots as soon as he came to the table. Billy, that was the first thing he had to face was 2 difficult shots, and then after that he pretty well stayed in pretty good position, but he really, as soon as he came up, the pressure was really on.
It certainly was, and he did make 2 great shots, pocketing the 1 going into the 2, and then pocketing the 2 into the corner pocket with such wonderful speed to achieve position on the 3. He's pocketed 2 balls on the break. Let's see where the balls are resting now.
Well, I know one thing. He's got a good shot on the 1, and if the 4 goes by that 5, it's going to be probably 10-10, and I know Buddy's got what do you think's going through his mind right now?
You know exactly what I think's going through his mind. He's on the hill again. One more time, he's on the hill, but he's faced with the situation that he can't do anything about it because he's in his chair. And he's thinking, what's going to happen? Is this going to be another rerun of what happened to me yesterday? He's missed this ball. Whoa, I thought he missed. He went into the 7. He's gone into the 7.
Can he clear the 3?
He's going to have to jump it, I think. I think he's going to have to jump this ball. It must be extremely close. Kim's looked at it from both of the angles, from behind the 7 and from the other part of the, from behind the 7 and in front of the 7, and he still doesn't know if he can make it.
I believe he's going to have to go up in the air, but we'll soon see.
Well,
but I tell you what, I think I'd favor spinning around this ball.
That's such a difficult shot.
Because if it's that close, I believe I'd prefer the spin instead of the jump, but maybe he's got to go over more of the 7 than I think. I tell you what, I like him ever since the way I see him elevated. I think he'll come with this shot because he's
it must
getting
be
up too high in
extremely
there.
close.
It must be real tight, and
this shot demands precision. Excellent concentration. I mean, you have to have the concentration on the shot. You cannot jump. You cannot move on this shot. Notice how he moved on the shot when he hit it.
Evidently, from the movement of his body, Billy, that he had to twist that quite a bit. It looked like he was just spinning it a little, but evidently he really was trying to dig into the white and was hoping to get just a little bit more.
Right. You need that little extra on that shot.
You know, he was trying to dig into it instead of elevating more. He was trying to keep his elevation to a minimum and really try to dig into it to get that extra curve he needed on that ball.
Get that little masse that he needed, and he missed the ball. He's left Buddy a little tester in the 3 here.
Yeah, and the 3's not so bad. I think Buddy feels confident enough on making the 3, but what's real difficult, he may have to spin the ball to get to this 4.
And he might go into the 9 and 6 doing so.
Yeah, position here is, this is really tough.
Well, he's gone right in between the 4 and 9, and absolutely perfect.
Well, he got a little higher than he wanted. On the hill, I'd say this is just a little thinner than you usually like it, especially if this 5 is really close. If he's got a completely clean hole, and look at the 9, he can't pull around 2 very easy, can he? He's got to hit this a little awkward, doesn't he?
Well, if he does, then he might lose the cue ball a little bit, and if he does lose the cue ball a little, it's going to be hard for him to play shape on the 6.
I tell you what, I really like the way he played that. I really like the way he played that shot. Going into the 9.
Opened up the whole game.
Oh, I really like that. What a choice that was in execution of being able to catch that 9 and stand down table. I really like that better than having to roll it or inside or all those other choices.
I don't blame you. But now this is a little touchy shot in itself.
This is a little thin.
Touchy.
I think I would have to give consideration here.
He's playing the 7 in the side. He's going to go between the 9 and the rail.
I like that. I really like that. I like what he just did, and he had another choice.
He likes it too. It looks like he's got a perfect angle to follow this ball, Nick. 1 rail across the table.
Yeah, I think that's a shame. Kim has played such a great match, and that shows you how tough to win these matches are, because if he'd been 1 inch over, maybe less.
That's exactly right.
He'd be shooting right now.
Yeah, up trailing 10 to 9 and looking to knot it up 10 apiece and breaking the balls.
So this really is the game of inches, Billy.
It certainly is, and no one knows better than yourself. Buddy Hall finally does make game ball. Winning the match, 11 games to 9. Well, Nick, Buddy Hall failed to win the match against Mike Siegel yesterday. But now it doesn't matter, because all he has to do now is defeat Mike Siegel 1 time, and he wins the tournament. So he's in the same position now as he would have been if he would have defeated Mike Siegel yesterday, except he has a little more practice.
Exactly right. Right now at this point in time, I think Buddy Hall is the favorite in tonight's match, only because of one thing, and that advantage could disappear the first game. And if Buddy can get started off, Mike might have a little trouble getting started off tonight because he's not played any matches today.
That's right.
If Buddy can get started off good tonight, Mike might have a little trouble catching gear tonight.
I think Mike knows that, but Mike's his nemesis, and you know, he usually beats Buddy, but Buddy is really playing well. He's really playing well and with an extreme amount of confidence. And I imagine he's about the happiest man in the world right now, because yesterday he was so despondent. He was in his chair in despair after missing at 2-9 billiard. But right now he's in a little better position than he would have been if he would have made the 2-9 billiard.
He really is, because he's got to play a competitive match against Kim, and he's got a good test. You know what I mean? His nerves have got a good test.
Oh, yeah, he's tough. He's tournament tough right now, and he's ready for the finals. Well,
congratulations, buddy.
Oh, thank you very much.
That was a great played match.
Buddy. Well, buddy, a short while ago, not a short while ago, about 12 hours ago or so, you were in despair sitting in your chair after missing that 2-9 billiard, saying to yourself, I gave this away. My nemesis is here. I gave it away to him one more time, and you were really feeling very, very bad. And a lot of people were feeling for you, considering how well you played in that match.
Yeah, I did play good. I thought I played very well in that match.
But if you really take a real fair look at it, Nick and I discussed it a short while ago. If you would have made the 2-9 billiard, you would have been in the same position that you are now.
Exactly same place.
Right. But we feel that you're in a better position now because you've proven once again that you're the champion, like what we all know you are.
Well, I feel like it's going to be a great match.
Well, you got a nice warm-up match, and you're involved already in a pressure situation, so you should be, I think, much more comfortable coming out of the blocks tonight if there's a crucial decision to be made in that first rack where you maybe have to come with a tough shot. I think you have a little advantage in that department because you got to play today.
Maybe I do. Maybe I do have an advantage because I did get to play, but I feel real good about my game right now. A little at the start of that match there, I played a little shaky, but I'll tell you the truth, I feel real good about my game, and I think we're going to have us a good set.
We're going to have a good time tonight.
Well, what I really like is you really seem to be hitting the pocket, and that last crucial shot there on, was that the 4 or 5?
The 5 into the 9?
5. That was a thing of beauty there. I mean, 10-9, and you know if you don't get out, you may not even come back to the table against Kim and not be in the finals, and that was really some kind of a shot there.
You talking about the ball?
When you opened up your 5-9.
Oh, that was.
You shot the 5
and stayed down for the 5.
Right.
That last rack when you was running out, you got a little thin on the 5. I know a little thinner than you'd like, but
you shot the 4.
You had such a tough position on that 3 coming up table to miss all them balls.
I split them though. I split them up.
Oh, you avoided them perfect.
Nick, how about the shot when he elected to play the 5 in the corner, play the 5 in the side, go up at the corner, go 2 rails down, and split the 6-9, and he split them perfectly and came up short off the split. I mean, that was certainly an injustice.
I didn't know whether
I
thought about playing the 5 ball in the corner and trying to drop to the end rail, and I thought, now wouldn't I look stupid if I didn't hit that one perfect? Now, I mean, here I have. I've got a shot where I got a shot at breaking them out, and then or I could try to drop down on the bottom rail and try to play the combination, but I didn't like that. So
did you consider pocketing the 5 in the corner and drawing the ball back down to break them out?
I considered shooting the 5 in the corner pocket and drawing down to the end rail.
You could have drew the ball down and broke them out also, couldn't you?
Right, but it's hard to judge it into that rail and spinning it out.
Well, you know better than anyone.
But going up table, I got a natural angle. All I got to do is hit the rail above the side pocket, and I'm going to come awful close to them. If I don't hit them, I'm going to come awful close to them.
Well, what may appear to be a natural angle to you is not a natural angle to about 99.9% of the people out here. But once again, buddy, congratulations on winning this match, and really, we wish you all the luck in the finals.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Should be a great match.
Be
Buddy Hall, match. Mike Siegel, it's like a who's who of pool for the last decade or two.
Well, that's exactly right. I was thinking the same, Nick. Who are probably the two most common opponents in finals in the last 12 years?
Yeah, I'd say Buddy and Mike.
Buddy and Mike. How many finals have they played in together? They're no strangers to one another.
No, they're not. No, they're not. One thing about Mike that's dangerous is Buddy's advantage could disappear in a hurry because Siegel is pretty tough in these final matches. It might be the best that he ever plays is the last one.
Well, Nick, I'll tell you what. The first match between Buddy Hall and Mike Siegel yesterday went down to the wire 10-10, and Mike Siegel winning that match 11-10. I believe the upcoming match for the finals in this tournament is going to prove to be just as exciting as the one we witnessed yesterday. So don't miss it. I'll be here. You be here?
I'll be here.
I'll see you.